Chapter 7. Helga finally left, and by 7 p.m., after I had done my own sultry makeup with a red lip finish, I was sitting in front of a huge gold-gilded mirror, getting my hair set in big Velcro rollers. Talk about pushing for time. "So, what's the occasion?" Stefan mused, spraying the crap out of the last roller. "Oh, just a nice dinner," I answered, looking up at his reflection in the mirror. "Budokan." "Ooh, so chic," he smiled widely. "Love that place." I heard the sound of the front door closing. "Knock, knock," that thick, familiar Spanish voice called out. "Marcos." I felt relief melt through me. "In here, honey," I cried out happily. Marcus walked in, looking gorgeous as ever, and I glimpsed the relief wash over his face when he saw me. Meanwhile, Stefan's face almost dropped off his skull. Instant attraction. "Hello?" I smiled softly. "Hello, honey." Marcus broke out into his beautifully wide, dimpled smile, and without even a word spoken, he came down and met my lips. Stefan's presence grew thick between us. I knew he was totally feeling Marcus's vibe. Marcus did too, but for different reason. He peered down at my dress. "Wow, you look amazing," he muttered, rubbing his hand over my décolleté gently, totally ignoring Stefan. "Oh, puppy, where's your sling?" I looked up at him concerned. "In the trash," he said, pulling off his blazer and throwing it on the cabinet, getting lost in all the closet mirrors. "It's rubbing on my collarbone. I feel so much better off." I don't know if I like that, puppy." We'll start to," he murmured, furrowing a dark brow at me. "Marcus, this is Stefan," I laughed, doing a great job on my hair. "Oh, the pleasure is mine, Marcus." Stefan held out his hand, almost as if he wanted Marcus to kiss it. Oh yes, the pleasure was definitely his. Marcus smirked awkwardly and shook his hand instead. "Nice to meet you, Stefan." He nodded, unbuttoning his shirt and flicked off his loafers. "Good day, honey," I mused, watching him behind the mirror. "Good day, my lady," Marcus said, dropping his cell phone and wallet next to me. "I'm taking a shower." "Okay, honey." Stefan was shook. He turned into a fumbling mess and struggled getting the Velcro rollers out of my black mane. "Oh, Lord, have mercy," he gasped, wide-eyed near my ear. "Does he have a twin brother?" "Hurry up," I snickered. "We gotta go soon." Stefan finally pulled himself together and finished my va-va-voom hair, teased and sprayed and looking gorgeous. He was very talented, despite his slight meltdown, and delivered the goods. I felt like a queen. Marcus would be pleased. "Call me any time, and I am 24/7 for him." Stefan flicked his head in the direction of the bathroom. "I'll keep it in mind," I chuckled heartily, walking Stefan to the door and saying goodbye with an air kiss. The hinges closed, and finally, it was just me and Marcos, alone. Minutes later, I heard the shower turn off. "My lady, are we alone?" I heard Marcus call from the bathroom. "Yes, puppy," I said, running into the dressing room. "We're alone." He came out with a towel wrapped around his taut waist, his dashing muscularity on full display, with his black hair sleekly combed back with a side part. Wow, he was so handsome. I never got tired of it, and he was all mine. He got an eyeful of me and my pretty little outfit and dropped his towel without a word. exposing that soft, fleshy rod of destruction, getting more swollen by the second. He caught my immediate facial expression. "I can't help it," he murmured, coming closer. He took my hand and brushed my fingers along that steel of destruction. He wanted it bad. But I had been pinched and cinched into my corseted dress, and it was impossible. "Your timing is impeccable," I joked, feeling the soft warmth of his erected skin. Silently, Marcus grabbed me at the waist and pulled me close, and I felt him stiffen against the velvet fabric even more, nuzzling deep from my slipping inner thighs. He breathed into my mouth, gently caressing my lips with his tongue, kissing them, pulling me closer. "I want your secrets inside of me, Bonetaharo. And I want yours inside of me, Marcus Almeida," I whispered, returning his wet kisses, running my hand down the length of his spine. "But this dress ain't gonna let you in right now." Through his fuzzing affections, he smiled. "I have something for you." He took my hand and walked me into the dimly lit library. He had no care in the world that he was butt naked, with all the curtains wide open, giving some of the New York skyline a view that could quite possibly melt the glass. I glimpsed a box with a name. Oh no, one of those boxes. Musaif. I knew that name. Ugh, diamonds. The air escaped my lungs. "Close your eyes," Marcus said quietly. I obeyed and felt the cool metal of something heavy slip over my décolletage. I gasped nervously. "You're scaring me," I giggled. "Okay, take my hand," Marcus murmured. "Don't open your eyes." I did what I was told, and Marcus walked with me. "Okay, stop." I felt his naked body up behind mine, his strong hands on my waist. "Open your eyes." I opened them and was blinded by brilliance. "Oh, puppy," I whispered, touching the radiant, pear-shaped diamond necklace. It delicately draped down onto my chest and into my bosom. It was utterly gorgeous. "This is 60 carats of rock on you." Marcus pulled my hair from my ear and kissed it. I twisted to face him. "Is it possible to love you more and more each day?" I murmured tenderly, rubbing my hands over his arms that canoodled my waist. "Because I do. Not because of these gifts, but because you are so generous and so thoughtful, always going above and beyond for me. I feel like a queen." "You are a queen," Marcus muttered, gazing at our reflections amongst the warm lamps. "My queen." Chapter 8. 15 minutes away, sir," Matteo voiced from the front, weaving in and out of the mad Manhattan traffic. This city really never slowed down for even a minute. "Fine here, Matteo." Marcus smiled at him. I glanced down at my cell phone. 8:25 p.m. What a day, I muttered, squeezing Marcus's hand. "How was your afternoon with Massey?" Marcus wondered, looking at me curiously. Good, but tiresome," I sighed, looking ahead. "Massey was disappointed that she didn't get to see you, though." "Ha ha ha, next time," Marcus answered sarcastically. So, what did you ladies get up to?" "Oh, shit. Here we go. Dish the damage, Bonnie." Well," I coyly bit my lip, calculating my words. I took her shopping. You took her shopping? Marcus chuckled, thoroughly amused. I thought you were going shopping. Well, I was, I stammered defensively. But, well, I mean, she's stressed, honey. Ryan's being an asshole. You know, the guy you met at... I remember. Marcus interrupted me. So, you know, honey, she needed some therapy, I explained. And look, the woman could never even pay me properly. So I thought, why not let her experience something exciting? So I took her to Chanel. Oh, Chanel! Marcus cried incredulously. Keep going. So, by the time she was done, I was too exhausted to shop for myself, and I just had a stylist bringing me up some dresses. I see. Marcus looked ahead, his smile widening more and more by the second. Am I in trouble? I bit my bottom lip, squeezing myself closer to him. He laughed at me and furrowed a brow. For what? Racking up your credit card? Before I had a chance to control it, a rush of words came flooding up and out of my throat. Her whole outfit was over $14,000, I blurted out. I quickly remembered back to when April was spending Marcus's cash, with her monthly expenditure being well over the $200K mark. Monthly. I'm much more thoughtful, thankfully. And by the way, I had my own money now, since Marcus was still depositing a weekly salary into my bank account. But instead of my initial $20K per week, it was now $40K per week. I had bank, and I could have very much used my own money for Massey's outfit. But old habits were dying hard with his credit card. Marcus raised his eyebrows. You are a generous friend. Ex-employee, I reminded him. I know my place, honey. Are you fucking kidding me? Marcus murmured, peering down at me closely, mindful of Mateo in the front. Your place is right here. He pulled me close and put my hand on his heart. And down here, he moved my hand onto his groin. I chuckled under my breath. I gave you my credit card so that you can spend, because I know you. I know you're not reckless. I know you're not stupid. Marcus gazed at me assuredly. He paused for a moment. Do you remember when I took you down into the vault? Yes, of course, honey. I looked up at him. It's because I inherently trust you, my lady. Marcus squeezed my hand. You don't ever have to tell me how much you spend again. I felt myself gushing over and over for this man. How could he be so wonderful? How was it even possible? I felt so safe, so loved by this flawless creature. How could it get so good? I snuggled into his chest and curled my arm around him as he pressed his head against mine. Chapter 9. We eventually rolled up to Budokan, dead on 9 p.m., and were promptly escorted straight inside the chic atmosphere. It was a sight, this restaurant. High ceilings and ornate chandeliers, totally bathed in subdued lighting, radiating a sensual mood, and it certainly did that. I held Marcus around the arm as we slowly wandered in together, passing by the many curious staring faces, garnering more attention than what I, or he, for that matter, were even comfortable with. But we didn't have time to dwell on it, as we were swiftly escorted to a private table for 10. Everyone had already been seated and were waiting for us, and as soon as we were spotted from a distance, everyone stood to their feet. Lucas and Philippe gave me a warm nod, and I noticed Vlad Solikov again, with two stunningly gorgeous and very tall women on either side of him. Russian, no doubt. Gee, how surprising. To the left of me were three dark gentlemen that I had never seen before, and were the very obvious Arabs that Marcus had talked about hours earlier. They were all dressed in sharp suits with impeccable tailoring, and I caught the smile of one of them. I glanced at his dark eyes and reserved nature and returned the kind smile. Bonnie, this is Abdullah, Mansour, and Sohail. Marcus introduced me to them from Abu Dhabi. They nodded politely and sat down. Funnily, they had no women with them either. I mean, to be fair, Lucas and Philippe had no women either, but they were working for Marcus. Yeah, nice to see you again, Bonnie. Vlad reached over and kissed me on both cheeks. Long time. Where's your wife tonight, Vlad? I wondered with intrigue, pulling away from him. I knew he was married with a lovely young Russian wife at home, who recently gave birth to twins. I wanted to believe these women were just arm candy for the night. Nice to see you too, Vlad. I eyed him courteously. We were given impeccable table service immediately. Wine and champagne flowed in abundance, and Vlad ordered the most expensive tasting menu they had on offer for everyone. Whether he was showing off in front of the Arabs or the women, or just for everyone, I don't know, but I felt a soft squeeze on my thigh under the table, a mere touch of assuredness from the man that I love the most. He had a way of expanding my perspective and to just take everything in my stride. I knew it would be a night of not much talking, which, by the way, suited me just fine. I was so tired. I glanced over at the other two slim women on each side of Vlad. They also knew all too well, just look pretty and keep quiet. They knew that it was the men that did all the talking, and the women were here to accessorize, at least for tonight. But actually, to be fair, Marcus didn't talk too much either. I knew he was absolutely exhausted, and thus Lucas and Philippe did the talking on his behalf, especially with the Arabs. Vlad, however, took the cake. He wouldn't shut up, and unfortunately, the more he drank, the worse it got. I did, however, catch one of his women glancing at my new diamonds. They shimmered and sparkled under the amber lighting. They were pretty hard to miss. Midnight finally rolled around, and fortunately, we were chaperoned out of the restaurant. Lucas and Philippe pulled Marcus aside for a few minutes as I sat in the car with Matteo, feeling my eyelids close. The door opened with a rush of cool air, and Marcus got in with a big sigh. "Puppy," I murmured, glancing at his dark face. "You okay?" Marcus took my hand and gently rubbed it between his fingers. "I've been served divorce papers." Marcus smiled meekly. "She's quick and efficient. I'll give her that. I mean, I thought I'd be the one doing it in a few weeks from now, but hell, she'd beat me to it. April, no doubt, putting her whopping settlement demand on it as well. Can't imagine what hideousness it would be." Deep breaths, puppy. I rested my head on his shoulder, slipping my hand through his button-black shirt onto his warm chest. "The med is tomorrow. To the med." Marcus kissed me on my head and squeezed me tight, his eyes dancing within the streaking light.